So, if I understand, they're gender blind, they're open to diversity. That seems to read to me that they're more liberal. What did you find politically from this group?
I was actually very surprised by the politics of this group. Only 10% of the 18 to 22-year-olds in the study say they do not intend to vote. Only 10% say they do not intend to vote. Of the 90% who intend to vote, not only in this presidential election but in future elections, 70 to 80% on any given issue tend toward the more moderate and progressive side, and about an average of 20% tend toward the more conservative side. So they're a very progressive, politically progressive bloc. There are some issues they don't even understand the debate. They don't. When Rush Limbaugh attacked Sandra Fluck on the issues of women's rights and reproductive rights, they don't even understand the conversation or the debate. Equality and human diversity and personal rights are such an ingrained part of their DNA that they're confused by the debate and the discussion. They tend to be much more colorblind in terms of looking at ethnicity and the role of. They don't really understand the differences between wealth and poverty, because to them there's an equality with everyone having the rights, and when they see rights being taken away or being more difficult to obtain, their goals are to try to create that bridge and that equality among all people. So we're seeing that in colleges today, and you know, that's something you could look back to generations of college students and you tend to say, all right, while they're in college they're more progressive, but then when they get out of college. But what's going to be interesting about this generation is they're going to stay connected with each other through the internet. They're going to stay Facebook friends, they're going to become LinkedIn friends, they're going to continue to have those same qualities now, and society is less likely to bifurcate, to polarize in the future than it has been for the past several decades.
Jack, I was very interested to read in your book about how different educational disciplines are being matched, like fine arts and engineering, design, technology. I think that's terrific. As somebody who has an MBA in the arts, I encourage that. But what would you say are the challenges to that in the current educational system?
The challenge is, like in almost any hierarchical structural system, that's it's outdated. But we've spent centuries in a hierarchical organizational model. The reality of this generation and future generations is they've grown up without hierarchy online, where there is no structure, where everyone is equal, where a CEO is at the same communications level as a college student or a high school student. So these are generations coming into colleges, then they're coming into the workforce with an expectation that those hierarchical silos will be broken down, will be dissolved, but they're not. So the challenge is not just in the educational system, but in the corporate model and across all aspects of politics, religion. Are the implications are that these first-time internet-born generations are going to really be forcing down these hierarchical structures, and that's going to challenge the institutions. One of the great things about this particular generation is, like Apple, they are a perfect blend between artistry and technology. And this is a generation, along with future generations, who are going to want to have that in their education and in their careers. They're going to want that blend of artistry and technology and engineering and math, along with the arts. The educational systems have to begin looking at better fundamental ways to create those bridges, and the natural organizational model within the educational community is to separate as opposed to integrate. So I think across all aspects of culture, society, business, and education, we're going to see that breakdown of the formal structures that have prevented integration across different genres of learning, genres of work experience, and genres of life.